so excited by the Star Trek film in 2009, we got together and said, how do we bring this into the gaming space? We knew that we wanted to play the characters that we love, Kirk and Spock. Kirk is this brash cowboy character, where Spock is the exact opposite.
I like this one. There are a few that you do not like, Captain.
When you break down Star Trek into those elements, you had to make a co-op game. There was no other game we could possibly make.
Take cover!
We have great gameplay. You actually get to be Kirk and walk around the Enterprise. You get to go to the bridge. You get to sit in the captain's chair and give orders to your crew.
Mr. Scott, prepare to transport.
Aye, aye, sir.
Energize.
Spock is very logical and methodical and decides, no, we're gonna have to do this smarter. We're gonna have to use stealth. It's those kind of moments that make the player feel like they're living the Star Trek world. Not only are we a third-person shooter, but we're an action-adventure game. We have great skydives and space dives. You can play as the Enterprise.
Prepare to engage hostiles.
You're going to feel like you actually were in the middle of a great, authentic Star Trek adventure.
You know, if we weren't trying to save the entire universe, this might actually be fun.
One of the first decisions we had to make was, what villain did we want to bring in the game? The Gorn came to the top of the list right away. Now, the Gorn were in one episode of the classic series called Arena, but to this day, they're one of the most popular Star Trek villains of all time. It was such a huge responsibility for us to bring the Gorn to the modern age into a gaming space. We have over 15 different kinds of Gorn. We wanted to make sure that each one of these classes and species acted and behaved differently. So you have a rusher who will come at you, to a brute who really is the gladiator of it all, to a lieutenant who can go invisible.
Your tricorder should be able to help me find the wee bugger.
And ultimately, our huge leader. We also couldn't pass up the opportunity to bring in some female Gorn. No one's ever seen that before, so we looked at the reptile world to pull some colors from geckos and lizards. Star Trek the video game is the ultimate adventure where you get to play as Kirk and Spock as you work together to stop the Gorn from taking over the entire Federation. Our goal from day one was to make the most authentic Star Trek game that had ever been created. In order to do that, we talked with the story department, to sound design, to the special effects team. So when you walk through the hallways and the bridge, it's exactly the same design and sound effects that we use on the movie.
Oh, this never gets old.
One of the most important aspects of any game is the music. So we reached out to Academy Award-winning composer Michael Giacchino and his team. They worked on the music for our films and asked if they would write some music for our game. And we were thrilled when they came back and said yes. Traveled around the world to record the voices in this game. We wanted Chris Pine and Zach Quinto and the rest of the crew in the Enterprise to bring their amazing talents to the game.
Check off readings.
They're operating on emergency power and are struggling to maintain altitude.
The more prudent choice would be to stay on the Enterprise and wait for a response to our hails.
Oh, you're right. Lieutenant Uhura, any response to our hails?
Captain, they have issued a request for immediate evacuation.
Oh, looks like I'm going. Sulu, you gotta get us down there.
Our only chance is if we fly a shuttle in manually.
Bones, you're with us.
What? Why do I have to go? Jim, I'm a doctor, not a covert agent.
It was so amazing because the actors brought it to a level that really felt authentic. The challenge was to take this property and appeal to not only gamers, but hardcore Star Trek fans. And with the great gameplay and visuals and music, we feel that this is the most authentic Star Trek adventure ever.
Don't worry, Scotty, we'll be fine.
Always makes me nervous when he says that.
We wanted to tell an original story. We wanted to take players on an adventure they hadn't seen before. One of the most important things we did was bring on a great writer. We brought on Marianne Krosik, who wrote the God of War trilogy. This untold story of Kirk and Spock is canon to the new Trek universe and takes place after the 2009 film and before Into Darkness. The Enterprise intercepts a distress signal from these Vulcans who are stranded on a space station.
We have a shuttle ready for your evacuation.
Tamar? Mr. Spock, it is a relief to see you here.
Tamar is a really beautiful, smart Vulcan scientist. There's a great history between Spock and Tamar.
We have been searching for a planet to rebuild our race. New Vulcan seemed perfect. However, a project of this magnitude would have taken generations to complete. In order to speed up this process, we created a device called the Helios machine.
And during operation, the Helios device malfunctions and creates this massive rip in space.
I believe that rip is the reason my father ordered the Helios machine to be shut down.
Her father, the Sirach, he is one of the elder leaders of the Vulcan group.
We need to talk to him right away.
We've been attacked. Creatures emerge from the rip. They call themselves the Gorn. We cannot allow the Helios machine to fall into their hands. They would be able to attack without warning anywhere in the universe.
All of a sudden, the Gorn attack. They take the Helios device and they capture Tamar.
Tamar!
Our game has a completely unique and original storyline that we're very proud to bring to the video game space.
Our mission could not be more clear. We must go through the rip and recover the Helios machine.
And Tamar?
I suppose we will just have to save her as well.
You read my mind, Commander. And you didn't even have to do that voodoo mind meld thing with my face.
Keep getting me killed. I thought you had my back. Oh, not again. Hold on just a minute. Okay. We're both too old for this kind of thing.
Star Trek, the video game.
All right, now you're overacting.